What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Behind the Studio. We are Dylan and Danielle. This is our final episode of season 2. Is season 2, episode 5. It is the caboose of season 2, if you will. And then Dylan, what have we talked about throughout this season?
We talked about a lot of different things. We talked about high school and college senior sessions in episode 1. Episode 2, we covered family sessions. Both of those had a special guests. 2 different special guests, and our third one from maternity and newborn had a special guest as well. So those are the things we talked about throughout the season, and then
and then episode 4,
we talked about kind of like a catch-all for portrait sessions. These covered, big birthdays, things like that, that you might not think to get photographed, but you probably should get photographed because it's worth remembering. And then here on our final episode, we're going to talk all about the wedding-related portraits. So we'll go over things like engagements, bridals, etc., etc.
And some sessions you might not think about when thinking about wedding-related portraits.
Right.
But if you haven't listened to our episodes of this season, the previous ones, you should definitely go back and listen to those. It's not like you have to listen to them in order.
Right.
You could listen to this one and then go back and listen. But you should put that on your TBL.
To be listened to. TBLT.
TBLT.
Yeah. And this one, like I said, we're talking all about weddings. And if you're getting married, this one is super, super for you.
Or if you're in a serious relationship.
Super for you. We also have, I want to take this opportunity to plug season 1, because in that season, we talk all about the wedding process, getting from engagement to honeymoon, all the things you need to do, from setting your priority, booking vendors, all the good stuff.
Blah, blah, blah.
So be sure to check that out.
Yeah, we have some great listeners who have told us that that's been a really helpful season for them, which makes our heart very happy. So go ahead and give that a listen if you're in that category of people.
Yeah, and if you're not, like Danielle said, if you're in a serious relationship, start planning early. You know what I'm saying?
Couldn't hurt.
So, speaking of planning, let's roll right into our first bit, and that's going to be the proposal session.
Yeah, so we're going to assume you're in a serious relationship right now, or you'll look to be in one in the future, and you're thinking about talking about maybe with your partner that, maybe you're going to get married, or maybe it's just like you could just feel it coming on, or maybe you guys talk about this together.
So, I definitely think you should just straight up and say, hey, look, I want to get our proposal photographed. We actually had one of our past brides say that if 320 Studio was not at the proposal, she would not say yes. And we really love shooting proposals because usually when you shoot proposals, you're kind of there from jump with this couple. You do the proposal, then engagements, and then et cetera, et cetera. So it's always really, really fun for us.
Like to be on the whole journey.
Yeah, from start to finish. But one of the coolest things I think about proposals is just the reactions, that we get to capture. And so if you're thinking that you don't know if you want a photographer there or if you want it to be just super private or whatever, we have never heard anybody say that they recognized us or realized that we were at the proposal until it was done, right? Yeah. Typically we're tucked away, hiding, and as soon as we're down on one knee, boom, then we're able to jump out and say, yeah, we're here. Yeah. But people don't even see us at that point or know that we're there. And then after, we take a few photos and they're like, oh, hey guys, so glad you're here.
Yeah. And really, it could be done a couple of different ways, because you could do the whole sly, oh, we're just taking pictures together. We just got a couple session, or one of our seniors that we were photographing, her boyfriend called us and was like, hey, I'm gonna propose during her senior session, toward the end. I think he even added on an hour. Yeah. Secretly, he added on an hour so that they can get photos together afterward and with their family and all that. So it could be super secretive, or you could just play off of an already existing session or something like that. I think we've also done or heard about maybe the couple wins a free session, and then that is the
turns
cover
into the proposal.
Yeah, that's the cover for the proposal. So you could go about it 2 different ways, being hidden and then coming out, and like Dylan said, it's very easy to just hide, and you're in that moment, so you're not gonna notice the photographers anyway. So
that's proposal. We definitely think you should do it. One thing that I wouldn't say regret, is like for me and Danielle's proposal, like we just have regular old phones because we got
and video.
and video, yeah. I proposed to her at an Ed Sheeran concert. It's like obviously I couldn't hire a photographer to come along with me and all this kind of good stuff. But either way, whether it's you hire a professional or have your friend there, your parent, whatever, for sure you're gonna want to document this moment, if at all possible.
Yeah. All right, moving on. You have been proposed to, and
You
now
have said yes.
Yeah, you have said yes. And so now the next photos that you're gonna do would be an engagement session.
We really like engagement sessions. So for every collection at 320 Studio, except for our super small and like elope mini type of collections, come with engagements because number one, it gives you an opportunity to work with a photographer that you are likely going to do your wedding with. Number two, it gives you stuff to use for the wedding or for save the dates,
like
a guest book. Like you can use these photos for a bunch of different things. If you're having parties, like engagement parties and stuff, you can have them there, bridal parties, all that good stuff. These are super usable. And like I said, it just kind of gets you prepped for the wedding day.
Yeah, it gets you used to being in front of the camera if you haven't taken professional photos before, or if you just haven't worked with that specific photographer before. It gets you warmed up and used to it. That way on your wedding day, everything will be a breeze and you won't be nervous about being in front of the camera.
Right, and even if you use the same photographer for your proposal, these are going to be slightly different because you are aware they're going to be there. You have the opportunity to pick the location, you have the opportunity to choose what you're going to wear, all these different things. So it is still going to be a different experience.
And engagement sessions, a lot of times we have noticed that couples might pass on these, even though it's like included in the session, whether they pick bridals instead or they just opt out of an engagement session altogether, because maybe you just got photos taken as a couple, and so like that's not really a priority for you, but like it's really fun. Like you can make a whole day out of it. You can like do like a casual outfit and a fancier outfit, and then like with your fancy outfit you could go out to dinner after, like make a whole day out of it. We actually have like a blog or two written about like
making the most of your engagement session kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll link that in our show notes because we could go on forever about engagement sessions, honestly.
Another fun thing about engagement sessions too is like come the wedding day, like you can reenact some of those fun photos and then do them every year, right? So like I know me and Danielle, every year we take photos, we do similar photos that we've done for our engagements, our wedding, et cetera, et cetera. And even Declan was a part of our engagement sessions. So like years later, whenever we took his 9-year-old photos at the same location, we did the same thing. So whenever we got married, Declan was 3, and so now, multiple years have passed, and we did the same thing, right? So I chased him in a cute little field, blah, 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 blah. And it was really cool to see the growth of him and me and just our relationship just in general. So think about that too as you're doing these engagement sessions, or you're like, I'm not gonna, like you said, we already have photos. You can never have too many photos.
Yeah,
I mean,
honestly.
Seriously. You're going to want to look back on them, trust me. We take tons of photos. Surprisingly, we do really well of taking photos of like us and our family, and we look back at them for all the time.
For all the time.
Forever.
And on that note, I think we're going to go ahead and transition to an ad break here, right? To hear a word from our sponsor.
Our great sponsor. And we'll see you guys right after.
Looking for a creative partner to capture the magic of your special day? Well, you're already in the right place. Our team at 320 Studio has a full suite of services to make your wedding day unforgettable. From photos that capture every emotion to films that bring your story to life, we've got you covered. But 320 Studio doesn't stop at your wedding day. Our team is here to capture all of life's precious moments. Whether it's a family session, a new baby's arrival, or a high school or college graduation, we're here to help you preserve those memories. Visit us at 320studio.co and start working with your wedding and lifestyle creative team today. And we are back from the break. Welcome back, everybody. That was great to hear from our sponsor. We really
Check
love
them out. They're really cool. They're good to us.
And we're going to move right into the next type of wedding-related photo session that you might encounter, which is a bridal session. And these occur, they can really happen anytime you want before the wedding, but typically it's about 2 months before the wedding because that's when you have your alterations back for your dress. And then that also gives enough time for your photos to get edited and you to order like prints or canvases or anything like that you want to order.
So tell us, what is a bridal session?
Yeah,
Like, a lot of people don't actually know what that is. They're like, can we do bridals the day of? And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, so a bridal session is a session. It's strictly you and your dress and your hair and makeup and everything. So it's basically like a test run for the wedding day for you. Well, for you, for the bride. You might not be the bride. Statistics show you probably are. But anyway, it's usually done at the wedding venue, but you could do them anywhere that you want. They're usually done about 2 months before the wedding because usually alterations are done by then. And that gives you enough time to have them edited and printed and ready for the wedding if you want to display them. A lot of times brides will display like a big old canvas on an easel or maybe like just a couple of little pictures in frames, or sometimes they don't display them at all. But anyway, that's basically what it is. And I would say a lot of brides are torn about this.
Yeah.
Some want to do them, some don't care at all.
Some absolutely don't want to do them.
Yeah, and some just do them because like their mom or their grandma wants them to do it. I didn't actually do bridals myself. I had Dylan take some photos of me like in another white dress before my bridal shower, which I actually do love. I think I a little bit regret not doing bridals.
I would say that I regret you not doing them.
Yeah.
Like, I think it would be nice to have just some, I mean, obviously we have great photos of just you at our wedding, but like you're also getting ready, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's
Right,
just
yeah.
not quite the same.
Yeah, I don't have just me in my dress. I didn't do a hair and makeup trial, so thank goodness that one. Actually, you know what? My hair and makeup trial was my bridal shower.
Go all out, man.
Yeah. If you have the budget, just do it because you're not going to regret it. I mean, if you're really trying to like kind of cut down on your budget, maybe that's something that you just maybe want to forgo. Right. But I feel like if you can afford it, you might as well do it because it really, like that option to try out hair and makeup and see how you move in your dress is really going to be helpful. Like, it's almost worth it.
For that reason.
Yeah, for that reason.
We've actually had a bride that she got our collection that came with bridals and engagement. They did engagements. When it came time to do her bridals, she did her bridals, but hated her hair and makeup. Yeah. Like, hated it. So.
Like, hated it so much that we redid her bridals.
Right. Like, she paid us to do a whole new session for bridals. And that's what she went with for her wedding, and she loved those, and everything was super great.
Good for her.
If she wouldn't have done bridals, would she have known that? Would she have just been like, I pretty much hate all of my wedding photos because I hate my hair and makeup?
That would have been so sad.
And like, obviously that's not on us. Like, she just didn't like her hair and makeup, right? Yeah. Like you said, it's almost worth it to make sure that your hair and makeup work well with your dress and just everything in general. Because if it doesn't, then like you're risking a whole day not going well.
Yeah. And like seeing how you move in the dress and how easy it is to walk in your dress, you might be like, yo, it's kind of hard to walk in this. I think I might need to get a little bit more hemmed or something like that. Or like this strap keeps falling off of my shoulder. Maybe I'll get them to like tighten it or something.
Or even it might let you know like, hey, actually this dress is like undanceable in. I'm going to have to change midway through.
Right, yeah. So I might have to get a dress to change into for halfway through the reception.
It just gives you, like, it sets you up for success, I think, on wedding day, because you're just going into your wedding day with more information.
Yeah. Yep.
The more information you have, generally, the better decisions you can make.
All right, so you've done the proposal, you've done engagements, you've done your bridals, and you've gotten married.
Now what? Well, let me tell you now what. A lot of our couples have been opting for a bride and groom session after they get married.
Why?
Because so many people want daylight photos, which I
awesome.
want. That's what I want. But so many people don't want a first look. And want their ceremony at 7 p.m. So
What's the problem there? What's going to happen there?
It's really not a world where that exists. So if you don't do a first look and you're getting married at 7, right, even if you're getting married, in June, like, it does begin to get a little bit darker at 7. Like, you might can swing your bridal party photos, your all that kind of stuff, like, mid-June. Like, right now, June and July, you could probably pull it off.
Yeah, but
however, nobody gets married in June and July because it's hot as the sun. So, people usually get married in October, August, September, December, things like that.
A lot of times people want their ceremony to be around sunset.
Which makes sense because a lot of times, you want to end the night with your wedding, right? The reception brings you into, 11, 12 p.m.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. And if you're having a Friday wedding, it makes sense because people can be off of work, have time to get ready, and then attend your wedding, right? All of this makes sense, and you're right. That's probably a solid time to have your wedding. However, you likely can't have daylight photos if you don't plan on doing a first look around 4.
Yeah. So what's the solution to that?
Bride and groom photos after the wedding.
Yes.
This is a super cool opportunity where you guys get redressed up and take photos of just y'all. A lot of couples do it instead of engagement sessions. They opt for that. And then some couples add that on and do that after the wedding
To
because
clarify,
they know.
You're getting redressed up in your wedding attire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're putting on your dress again. He's putting on his tux again, or suit, or
whatever.
I didn't wear a tux and suit for our wedding,
Yeah.
so whatever you're wearing for your wedding, that's what you're wearing for these sessions.
Yeah. And this could be the next day.
The next week.
The next week. Like, it could be whenever.
That's really it, though.
It
Like,
could
we do
be-
it within a month, mainly because, like, hair starts to look way different, and just all these kinds of things, right?
Yeah.
And usually, you can swing and still rock makeup from the wedding day.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I could
more
have
often
done that.
than not. We've had a couple brides do that, and I'm like, you look the same. You
I
look
know,
great.
right? But, so yeah, and then this could be done possibly at your venue. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, you'd have to
I don't know.
ask. We've never done one at the
Yeah.
venue.
But it could be fun. You could pick a different location just to get a variety of photos.
Like a park or something
Yeah.
like that.
And basically it's just an hour session where you do all the bride and groom photos you would typically do.
And some, because
And
you got a
some
whole
more.
hour for yourselves now.
That's true.
Instead of having to split it up with wedding party, family, etc.
Yeah. And these are fun. You could get creative. Like, you don't have that whole time crunch and, like, the stress of the wedding day. So it's a bit more relaxed.
And it frees up the wedding day timeline. Like, it gives you that opportunity to do a few, we'll still get bride and groom photos on your wedding day. Like,
Like the
that's still going to
standard
happen. Like,
smiling,
don't worry.
kissing.
Right. And a few creative stuff, but like 2, 3. You know what I'm saying?
Not that many.
Whereas at the session, you can do all the things. Like, you can run in the field and spin and do all kind of stuff, right? So we really, really like these because it gives you the opportunity to have your cake and eat it too, kind of, where you can have your ceremony and all the stuff at night like you want to, and still get really incredible daylight bride and groom photos like you want to. It's kind of the only way to have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah. There are a couple cons to it as far as, like, you might have to get up. If you are trying to do it the next day, like, you can't be, like, hungover, right?
Yeah, that's something important.
And if you're not doing it the next day, then you might have to pay separately for hair and makeup.
Right. And if you rented your tux or your suit or dress or whatever you rented, you got to make sure you might have to re-rent it or extend the rental or just pay attention to when it's due back. Like, it's usually not due back till, like, the next afternoon.
Right.
So, like, if you're doing it the next day, you could probably pull it off like a morning session and all as well.
Yeah. But yeah, just some things to think about with that. All right, so we did the proposal.
Check.
The engagements.
Check.
Bridals.
Check.
Got married.
Check.
Took photos after.
Check.
And it is now 1 year later. It is your anniversary, or around your anniversary.
Right.
Within the month or so.
Probably the month, yeah.
Yeah.
These are rarely thought about.
I was going to say, nowhere in your mind are you thinking, let's take professional photos for our 1 year anniversary. I feel like most people do not think about that. But what a time to do that. How much has changed in this first year of being married?
You might have gotten a house. You might have had a kid. You might have done so many
Got
things.
a dog.
Moved.
I
I don't know. Like, there's so many things that can change.
Changed your hair drastically.
Right.
I don't know. Like, who knows? Like, bulked up. Who knows? There's so much that you've changed within a year. And so this is a perfect way to just kind of celebrate this
year of growth together.
Yeah.
And so we also think it's really cool because it gives you a way to literally look back through the years, and it's a little bit, a lot of people do this with like Christmas photos and all that kind of stuff. But this is, that can be done and all that good stuff. But this is specifically for you and your spouse now. And so, it can be used to document growing families, all that kind of good stuff. But it is like really super cool whenever it's at the same location or a very similar location, right? As your other photos and things like that.
Ones that you did, like Dylan was talking about before. You can even get really cheesy and like print out or like have a framed photo from like your engagements or your wedding day would be a good one. And like a framed photo from your wedding day that you hold up and then you take a picture and then every year
you do that. So it's literally like one photo.
Photo inception.
It's like your whole life in one photo. It's like when you're 80, you're holding a picture that has
like
teeny photos.
Freshly married.
Yeah, like that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Like I wish we would have done that.
Yeah. Or like if you don't want to do in the same location, like it could be a fun opportunity to try out a different spot.
Right. You can make it super drastic.
There's really no reason you shouldn't take anniversary photos.
There's really not. At the very least, like big anniversaries, like 1, 3, 5, 7 prime numbers, you know what I'm saying? No, but like
I don't know.
We have done anniversary. I almost said engagement. We've done anniversary photos for a couple, and it was super awesome because we hiked down. Like they did bridegroom photos at Red Bluff, which is like this big Grand Canyon type thing.
It's like a mini Grand Canyon in Mississippi. If you haven't heard of it,
check it out. We'll put it in the show notes. It's really cool. We'll also put their photos in the show notes. But it was super cool and fun, and to see like. We redid the photos, some of the photos they did on their wedding day and all that kind of stuff. So totally about that. That's super great.
Yeah. So I think that's about it. But 1 year anniversary, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forever. Yeah, there's always a reason to take photos.
Yeah, Danielle and I take them every year, and we also do that for our birthdays too, because in our birthdays episode we talked about the importance of like.
Dylan, we never took your 30-year-old birthday photos.
Well, you're in charge of that. You're the photographer.
It's already been past a month.
Yep.
Oh,
now they're my 31-year-old photos.
No.
Well, with the exception of my 30-year-old photos, we've been doing photos. Actually, I don't think I take photos any year. You take them every year.
No, yeah, I know. And no, I don't take them every year.
Most every year.
Okay, they were special, okay? 32. Every something 2 is going to be the Taylor Swift. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling.
42.
Yeah, 52, 62,
R.I.P.
maybe 102. Who knows?
Not 70 or 80 or 92?
I was skipping forward. Anyway, so this was our wedding-related portraits episode. We talked about the proposal session. We talked about engagement sessions, bridal sessions, the after the wedding bride and groom session, and anniversary sessions. So thanks for listening. If you're still listening at this point, thank you so much.
So that's all we have for you guys. That is season 2 of Behind the Studio. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. If you're on YouTube, what's up? And if you want to see more of our stuff or anything like that, be sure to check us out on social. We're everywhere, right? TikTok,
Facebook,
Instagram,
Threads,
and is there any YouTube? Obviously,
oh, yeah.
What up?
Hello.
And check out our previous podcast. And if there's anything you want us to cover or talk about, definitely hit us up.
Yeah. And we have no idea when season 3 is coming out, so you'll have to stay in the know. Maybe join our email list or something like that.
That'd be cool.
Keep up with us on the socials, like Dylan said. In the meantime, at some point, some mini episodes will be coming out.
Facts.
Not sure when, but
or what they'll be about.
You'll have to, like I said, keep up with us. So
yeah, thanks again, guys.
yeah,
Y'all are
thanks
cool.
so much
Good
for
people.
listening.
Talk
See
to you
you
later.
next time.